Took me till I was 20 to work some more. It didn't last long. 21, I started working more retail. Anytime I ever got to stay 90 days, my parents would take me away from the job for some reason. I had worked mostly seasonal, so Christmas, Thanksgiving. I was actually going to be kept at a retailer and work till 11:30, and my father said no. Which is funny because he worked a shift from 7 to midnight. So by the time I got home, he would just be finishing his job, working remotely in his house. It wasn't like I was going to be waking him up. He was already up, and the time I would come through the front door, he was still up, getting ready to log off his job computer. I mean, I would not have impacted his work or his sleep. So I don't know why. I can guess now. I've been in therapy. It was very controlling. My father wouldn't let me apply for certain jobs. And I found out later that when I gave my youngest brother, who's 3 years older than me, a job application where he worked, he wouldn't turn it in because my parents had told him not to. So, employment sabotage. And they would always use the excuse, well, it's not a good place for you. Everyone at church works there, okay? Even my brother works there. What do you mean it's not a good environment for me? My father forbid me from working certain places, and he said I had to be home by 7:30. Do you know what kind of people have to be home by 7:30? 7-year-olds. 7-year-olds are put to bed at 7:30 after dinner, not 21-year-olds. 21-year-olds should have a curfew of 11 o'clock at night, not 7:30. And he said, when the sun goes down, you need to be home. The sun goes down in the winter at 3:30 in the afternoon. Summer, around 8 p.m. I'm not going home at 8 p.m., okay? Not when you're 20. Maybe when you're 50, but not when you're 20. Like, come on, 7:30, get real. We lived in a small town. And if I had car problems, I just called my father. You just keep the doors locked until he comes. Like, seriously. And they didn't tell me about what could really happen out there. Yeah, that's one way to teach your kids. Tell them nothing. I had no sex education. Sex ed was a joke. I mean, I had a puberty talk. A puberty talk is when you talk about how boys' and girls' bodies are different and that you have hormones. That is a puberty talk. There was no safe sex, no condoms, no UIDs, consent, none of it. Consent was never discussed. It was always wait till marriage, which we know is stupid because if you don't teach kids how to protect themselves, I mean, if a teenager is assaulted, she's not going to tell anyone because of the shame of having sex before marriage, even though it's not sex, it's assault. And if you don't teach kids how to protect themselves, teenagers are going to have sex. I don't care what any pastor says. They're going to have sex unless they're asexual or